the words from all over Eastern Europe was filtering in of what was going on, my father was told that, you have to leave. You cannot stay here, you must leave. And he said this could never, ever happen in Hungary, because the Hungarian Jews were so assimilated. Like the Budapest Jews, nobody spoke Yiddish. They were in, as I told you, in all the professions, and they couldn't imagine that anything like this could ever, ever happen to the Hungarian Jews, especially the ones from Budapest. So that was the story, that they were sent out in labor camps, and my mother and I were told in April of '44 that we had to start wearing the yellow star. And that was the yellow star made out of material. It had to be sewn on every garment that anybody wore. And if you didn't have it on, and if somebody stopped you, you could, very dire circumstances. So we wore the star, and by June, or May or June, I'm not sure, we were also told that we had to leave our apartments. Like in Budapest, everybody lived in apartment buildings. And we had to leave our apartment and move into a Jewish house. Those were houses with a big Jewish star on them. And the Jewish star was on the top of the house, somehow on the roof as well as on the doors. Have you ever been to Budapest, by the way?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have. There were over 2,000 of these Jewish houses all over the city. And the idea behind it was that if the Allies, who were coming and bombing all the time, if they see that these are houses where Jews are living, they're not going to bomb there, which was, of course, also not true. But we moved into this Jewish house. These houses were where other people lived as well, but all Jews had to move into these houses. So my mother had a friend, and she had a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. It wasn't called 2-3 bedrooms, and I don't know what you have, but in Canada it's like 2 bedrooms and a living room. There were 3 rooms, and 3 families moved in with all the furniture that they could bring. And I remember that the furniture was stacked up all the way to the ceiling. It was very exciting for me as a kid, but it was a claustrophobic experience. And at that time, the Allies were constantly bombing already. So the way that worked was that the radio would say, enemy planes over this city, enemy planes over this city. And as the planes were coming closer and closer, we knew when we had to go down into the bomb shelter. And I loved my bed. And in the middle of the night, we had to go to the bomb shelter. And I remember, this is just snippets of memory, coming back after the siren was sounded. That meant that it was over. I would go back in my bed and kiss my bed. And, I was just so thrilled to be back in my bed. And so we were in this house. And then we moved into a so-called protected house. You probably know about Wallenberg, right? I mean, most people are familiar. He was a Swedish diplomat who was in charge of some of these houses. We moved into a